Lewis, one of those many Texans in the field who had high hopes, but she has birdied 3 and now 5 today to kind of make it a little more interesting to get to +3.
You know, a lot of it is just going to be about hanging it around too. If you could put a little bit of pressure, not very much separating the top of the leaderboard. Over at the
par 3 fourth, it's 176 yards. Bronte Law on the tee.
The first part of the day for these players, it's going to be about making the adjustments, about understanding how far the ball is flying, getting used to the new calculations of what your swing and golf ball are able to produce in these cold temperatures. We've seen a little bit of everything so far this week, so another day of just making adjustments to this golf course.
Back at the second, Jang-Eun Lee 6, the defending champion, trying to get back in the mix somehow. Winner at Charleston last year, starting the final round at +2. In full earmuff mode as well. Tell you, you're reaching for every available piece of layering clothing to keep yourself warm. World Jin Young Ko with her second. And this is a beast of a hole at the start, especially with the balls not rolling out.
No, and this north wind affects the first 2 holes, make them that much longer. Just enough to hang on. This is a player every player has to keep an eye on. Just being the #1 player in the world, still getting her feet wet on the United States after spending a lot of the COVID breakout in South Korea.
Back after the second, Christy Kerr trying to avoid 2 bogeys in a row to start her final round. Had the one yesterday and another one today.
It's a tough bogey. She did not seem like a bad approach shot into this green. In fact, it looked really good for a long time. But there are a lot of runoffs on the backs and sides of these greens, and have to know where to place it within the green.
And back up to the 6. See if Stacey Lewis can pour in another early morning cold birdie here. Taking the drive about 45 minutes from where she lives. Grew up in the Woodlands, Texas. She and her husband making their home now here again in the area. And now coming back for par after that birdie attempt ran out for Moriya Jutanugarn at the first.
It's a big putt early in the round. Don't want to make mistakes early. Don't want to feel like you're backpedaling. A lot of confidence can be made if you can close it out and clean it up.
Yeah, that's a good start. Nice par save there. Had the birdie start at the first, and so Jutanugarn stays within 4 as we get closer to the final tee time coming in a little less than 15 minutes from now. Again, an 8:25 local tee time for that final grouping. And now Jang-Eun Lee 6 with a little left here.
Yeah, a lot of these players did come prepared with their winter gear. The event last week in Dallas was also extraordinarily frigid, in the 30s as well. So players packed and were prepared.
Yeah, even colder than this, although it's hard to believe. But it was frigid up north, about a 4-hour drive from here. Lee 6 taking her time and able to get it down for par, so she remains at +2, 6 back, and she'll put that parka on and head over to the third. And we'll go back to the first, third to last group, and we've got the lone amateur remaining in the championship hunt. 24 started the week, 6 made the cut, and Caitlin Papp, right from the University of Texas here with her caddy Kate Golden, who's an assistant on that Longhorns team, on the bag.
She's had a busy week, not just playing in this championship, but finishing up a test and final paper. Graduated in her undergrad last week. and just was accepted into graduate school. So feeling a little bit like college golf for Caitlin Papp this week.
Yeah.
The biggest stage.
Getting the accelerated degree in 3.5 years. Texas, smart girl and a very promising young golfer with a very good short game here. And that's going to enable Caitlin Papp to save par as we send you back to the first tee.
This is the 8:14 tee time. From Concord, California, Yulimi No.
No, at just 19 years old, you can see she's already got a USGA title, 2018 Girls Junior Champ, trying to become the youngest U.S. Women's Open champion in history, just being a little younger than NB Park was when NB won the 2008 U.S. Women's Open. Kay Cockrell with his second to last group.
She struck that one pretty solidly down the left side. Yeah, catches the trees.
From New Zealand, Lydia Ko.
What an unbelievable start to the career of Lydia Ko. It's been well documented. A record-setting start at a young age, winning her first LPGA Tour event as an amateur at the age of 15. But the wins not coming nearly as frequently as they used to. 15 wins total, but just one in the last 4 years, although she has played the best really complete game in the majors of anybody. She's got a fantastic record, just trying to break through again in one.
On this going well out to the right towards the bunker.
From Republic of Korea,
That could leave a
Ji
very
Young
awkward
Kim
line.
too.
And here is a developing story. Ji Young Kim, too, who made the cut on the number with 3 consecutive birdies at the Jackrabbit course on Friday, continued to play well yesterday. And on Saturday, 7 under in her last 21 holes to become one of those 4 players under par through 3 rounds. It's just been an amazing comeback after barely making the cut.
And that's a good-looking drive right down the middle, the best of the 3.
In fact, she was tied for 94th before she made those 3 consecutive birdies to make the cut. And up near the green, Jin Young Ko for birdie. World #1 trying to make some noise today. Pretty good roll. So just one more group to the last major of the year, the second major championship of any kind to be held in the month of December. The 1929 PGA Championship won by Leo Deagle concluded on December 7th, but I get the feeling it wasn't near as cold for Leo as it is for these women. This is Bronte Law over at the 4th. Three straight pars so far to begin her final round. A good solid putt. And back over at the first, we have seen a number of beautiful saves by this amateur, Paige.
It's been impressive. The times that she's put herself out of position, she's been very disciplined in getting herself back in play.
Again, 6 amateurs making the cut here at this 75th edition of the U.S. Women's Open. 24 started the week. We had a couple play in the final group in the 3rd round on Saturday. Lynn Grant was with Caitlin Papp, just had a disastrous hole at the 10th, a quadruple, so kind of fell off the pace, but still has done very well. This is Moriya Jutanugarn over at the 3rd, par 4, and she's got some more scrambling to do there.
It's one of the shorter holes on the card, so a lot of players looking to kind of put themselves in better position off the tee to have a short iron into her hand.
Okay, back at the first, there's that hole location on the left side. And Lydia Ko ended up right in the middle of the sand there on the grass, though. Okay.
This is not the type of shot you want to face for your first fairway or non-tee shot in Major Monday. She's almost kind of laughing, I think, at the absurdity of this situation. But that said, she has 190 yards to the hole. If she could get this sort of in the middle front or just short of the green, it'd be great. Caught that cleanly, trying to draw it a little bit.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty good
really
break
good.
to me.
It's really good. You can see where that penalty area in the water sneaks in on the front left, but smart to...
Been an unbelievable stretch. We'll see if she can continue it again. 7 under in the last 21 holes.
And that was a 4-iron. Very aggressive line.
I would say so. Going right over on that left side of the green.
And actually not a lot of 4-irons in play this week in particular. A lot of players put hybrids in, if they didn't already have hybrids in, just to try to get a little more height. That was tremendous.
Yulimi No is next, who looks like she's ready for a day on the slopes.
Well, and she's getting comfortable with the trees right off the bat. Grew up on tree-lined golf courses in Northern California. She also carries a 4-iron, and that's what she's using here. Paige, keep this low, has to be cognizant of that penalty area that's short left of the green and make sure she errs to the right side and doesn't overdraw it.
That came out of there pretty nicely. Little right to left hook on
Really
it.
nice.
Safely over to the right. Doesn't flirt with the penalty area, so good recoveries there for Lydia Ko and Yulimi No. Well, there is the leader, Hinako Shibuno, who is trying to close out another one. Was able to do it at the AIG Women's Open, where she led by 2 through 3 rounds. Ended up winning by 1 over in England. Again, it was her very first LPGA Tour start. So we'll see if she can hold on to that 1-shot lead and put away another major for Japan. Se-Young Kim for par at the second. Okay, so it's a bogey par start to this final round for the hottest player in the world coming into this championship.
Yeah, one of the big time favorites, winning 2 of her last starts, number 2 in the world. Straightforward shot. She should be looking to get this one really close. Pretty square club face here. Probably be a little chunk and run. Not bad. It checked up on her a little bit.
In the meantime, ready for the final grouping to be announced at the tee at 1.
This is the 8:25 tee time. From Thailand, Moriya Jutanugarn.
The sisters played in the 3rd round together. Who knows, both could end up staying in contention to the very end today. Moriya, again, just the 1 win to her sister's 10. She had a close call with the USGA championship a long time ago, but trying to match her sister's USGA championship in this 75th edition. Different kind of player, Paige, than her sister. Not as powerful.
No, she's not. I like this little rehearsal, though. You can see her working on the sequencing in that transition in the lower body. She's gotten a little extra pop off the tee with that move.
Got that first win a couple of years ago in her 156 starts, so it took a while for her to break through. Jim Bones Mackay will be with his final grouping of the day.
Straight back into a very cold wind. This is a good-looking shot.
Picks up the tee right away, and indeed
From
it
Fargo,
is.
North Dakota, Amy Olson.
Well, it is 1 degree back in North Dakota, where Amy Olson lives with her husband. And so you would think that if anybody had a little bit of, was used to this kind of weather, it might be her. But again, the tragedy that she and her husband and their entire family have been dealing with is quite another matter. And this is just going to be Very interesting to see how Amy is able to keep it together.
Right center for line, needs to stay short of the second bunker.
From Japan, Hinako Shibuno.
Shibuno trying to nail down only the third major title for a Japanese player, male or female, and she would have 2 of those 3 titles if she was able to hang on to this lead. Kind of looks like a Christmas sweater she's got on. Very appropriate. And that's what she does before she starts every round. Junior golfers in Japan taught to do that. Honor the course, honor the ability and the privilege to play.
Just pulled up the left edge, but I think it's going to grab some fairway if it gets a good first bounce.
Not quite bones, but close, and the lie appears to be good. Dormant rough here at Champions. Up ahead to the green, we've got Kim 2 to play next here, Kay.
Yeah, this long 35-footer for birdie. Her fellow competitors have chipped onto the green. No chipped quite well, pretty close to the hole, but Lydia has a fairly lengthy par putt upcoming. With your hands being so cold and your body being cold and tight, it's so important to establish a sense of feel quickly on these difficult greens.
Been a long time since she has made a bogey. This has been an incredible stretch of golf for Ji-Young Kim 2, 24 years old, from South Korea, not a member of the LPGA Tour. But if she were to come back from being 10 shots down after the 36-hole mark, it would be the biggest 36-hole comeback in U.S. Women's Open history. Up to the third, Moriya Jutanugarn trying to save par. This time not able to do it. So drops her first shot of this final round. She's back to +1 and 5 back of Shibuno. As this Monday major finish forced by the rain yesterday has forced the conclusion on this Monday. Here is Ko for the par that Kay was talking about.
Yeah, it's just outside of 10 feet. Normally she's so good with chipping around the green, but I think the cold hands just didn't allow her to have the feel that she's normally used to.
Oh.
But that'll make up for any mistake, won't it, Dan?
Big save for Lydia Ko to stay within 4.
Around the golf course, and 2020 it's felt different. It's a little simpler for Lydia, so it's nice to see her at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, she's now working with her latest coach, Sean Foley, and it's been a carousel of coaches for the last several years for her. So now no from short range.
And although Yulimi is just 19 years old, she has a very mature golf game.
Kind of braces that putter against that left forearm.
Yeah, she's worked a lot on her putting in, her short career. It was not one of her strong suits, so has adapted this putting stroke.
It's a good après ski look, too.
Very sharp. Very sharp.
All right, so Kim 2 with a little cleanup here for par.
Yeah, these are the length putts you like to have to finish up a nice 2-putt.
Ji-Young Kim 2 making her U.S. Women's Open debut and making it a memorable one. Really, even no matter what happens today, the way she got into this final third and fourth rounds. Back out of the fairway, we've got Moriya Jutanugarn getting ready, Bones.
178, Dan, and she's been jumping up and down as play in front of her was taking place on the green, just trying to get the blood flowing. It is really chilly out here at the moment. North wind straight in their face.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you can be aggressive with that putt.
5 hybrid in hand, and what these ladies wouldn't give just to make a solid par here and get their day off to a quality start given the conditions.
Yeah, first couple holes, big test with this north wind. And Bones is right, keeping that body warm really helps with sequencing. That can get off when you lose a little bit of feeling with the cold.
Just taking a little extra time to reset, pick out a target behind the green. Good contact, it appeared. Center of the green.
Solid.
Really nice.
Will it stay? Just trying to creep down that false front.
Still not a bad leave.
Now, as that finally comes to a stop, it's going to pick up a little more speed as it gets even further in front of the green. Amy Olsen now ready.
172. It's on a pretty aggressive line, just right of the flag. Nice play.
Really strong start.
Yeah, it carries over that false front that caused Moriya just a little bit of trouble.
All right, a little different angle here, Bones, for Shibuno.
Yeah, sitting nicely for her, Dan. Nice to have a hybrid here. You can go down and get it. It would be much tougher with a longer iron. That sounded a little heavy. Let's see if it gets there. It's actually left of the flag.
Uh-oh. Left of the flag is tight over there. And what a mistake there for Shibuno.
We've seen several times where she's taken on a little bit, been a little aggressive and kind of gotten away with it.
So up comes Shibuno with not her best with her second shot there at the first. As we head up to the fourth, pick up Christy Kerr on the Huggy 76-yard par 3.
Good. Carry it. Carry it. Kick left.
Well,
Yep.
did kick left a little bit for Christy. Again, a golf cart accident last week. Amazing that she's even in the field. Talked about it all week. Grueling week it has been for her. Stacy Lewis over at the 8th. Tom Abbott with a call there.
Yeah, they moved the tee up today, Dan. It's playing short, just 104 yards, and that's a nice tee shot by Stacy Lewis, and a chance for her to get it to 3 under. Third birdie of the day, 2 under for the day. So Stacy going along well. Let's go back over to 4.
For Moriya Jutanugarn coming off that bogey at the 3rd. Tremendously powerful player, especially with the irons. It's a low boring flight right at the stick.
It's fun to watch her play when she's playing great golf. You mentioned it, the way she swings at it creates a ton of power from her core.
Back at the first, just safe there for Shibuno, Bones.
Yeah, she's about a yard over the penalty area. If the ball had released back a little bit down this hill, it wouldn't have quite gotten enough momentum to get into the water. But certainly she had to be a little concerned when that ball was in the air.
It looked like it had a good chance of going down, but safe for now. Call her the Smiling Cinderella. We'll see how much smiling she does today on a brutally tough day trying to put away this pressure-packed title. All right, so Moriya, who had her golf ball drift all the way back down just off the green, will play now.
And for both Moriya and Shibuno, this is an early test page. I got to think chipping when it's this cold can't be that easy, given the fact your hands can't feel all that warm at the moment.
No, this is a strength of her game, though. So if there was a part of her game that stands out, it is her touch and feel around the greens. It'll set the tone for the beginning of this round. She's not going to be happy with that. And something else to keep an eye on just with her, and we saw it kind of in the fairway where she pulled off, is she tends to slow down when she gets in the heat. Double check and question. Keep an eye on that.
Shibuno next here trying to save par.
course, it's important to remember there was quite a lot of rain yesterday. I think for Moriya there, that ball checked up quite a bit quicker than it would have early in the week prior to the bad weather we got yesterday. Okay, didn't read that very well for break, but left herself an uphill putt for par.
You just see keeping the hands in front of the club face, making sure she's getting solid contact. It wasn't a bad strike, just really didn't play for